ile yote tunaotumia kwenye nchi nzima the 70% imekuwa supplied by Kenya. 30% imekuwa supplied by our independent power producers. Lakini kitu cha kushangaza ni kwamba wakati wa malipo ile pesa inayolipwa kwa wale ambao wametuletea hizi stima ambao ni hao independent power producers ama tuseme private, watu wanatuletea stima private, unapata wao ndo walitupatia only 30% of what they supply, but katika ile malipo 70% ndo wao wamelipwa. Sijui kama umeelewa. Ile gharama yote total that KPLC pays Kenyan and pays these independent power producers, Kenyan takes only around 30% of this payment. Alafu our independent producers, they get 30%. So they get 70% of this payment. What does that tell you? Kwamba as much as Kenyan wanakuletea stima, hiyo 70% ambao wao ndo wametuletea, stima yao ni bei rahisi. Sijui kama unaelewa. Kama sijui kama umenipata.
Yes,
umeme wao ambao ni 70% wametuletea, out of the 100% ambao tumetumia 70% ya hiyo stima ni Kenyan wametuletea. So kama kuna mtu ambaye anastahili kuwa amelipwa pesa nyingi na Kenya Power
ni Kenyan
kwa kutuletea stima, inafaa kuwa Kenyan, maana yake wao ndio wametuletea 70%. Lakini unapata kwamba ile pesa kubwa ambao Kenya Power wanalipa kwa wale supplier wa stima ni hao independent power producers. Sio kama umeelewa.
Kwa sababu ni viongozi wetu ambao wana decide how much they should be paid. Hapo ndipo
unaelewa. So if 30%, if 70% of this power yenye inaletwa na Kenyan and they only get 30% of that of the amount paid. What if we get 100% of the electricity being supplied by Kenyan only? Tutakuwa tumesave percent ngapi? By how much percent would the power cost go down? You can unaelewa? It would mean that, let's say, the power would go down by around 3 times.
And Kenyan has the capacity to give us
Kenyan, I think that was it the chairman or is it Seremu something? What is I forgot his name. He was being alikuwa anaulizwa maswali na Senate Committee on energy, and he said Kenyan has the capacity to provide 100% of this. Now, if Kenyan is capable of has the capacity of supplying 100% of this power, then why do we still dwell with these IPPs? Let's do away with the IPPs, our independent power producers, our private. But sasa you see, unapata hawa independent power producers, kuna watu, that's where cartels are. Usijui kama unanielewa.
Yeah.
Tuondoe hawa, tukiondoa hawa, bei stima itapungua by 3 times. If you're paying 1,000 shillings a month, you'll be paying around 300. I don't know if you're getting my point.
Yes, we do. And we get to the point.
Yes, so that is where the problem is. Now the question is, wakiambiwa, there are 2 options. It's either to Kenyan or to supply 100% or our independent power producers or revise bei yao. But hawataki. So sijui ni nini inaendelea hapo. So the issue is
or what is happening?
The country, nchi yetu ina uwezo. Basi sasa kuna mchezo yenye inachezwa.
And while you talk about that, can someone talk about water in Nairobi?
Water in Nairobi is all about the supplies. We have too many people in Nairobi with the water that is available, that is supposed to be supplied to them, is less than what is available. So more is required and less is available, if I may put it that way. That's the problem. Over concentration. Watu wame over concentrate Nairobi sana.
I think
because that is where the old money is. And I see everybody is keeping quiet.
No, this is something this is when we get such serious information. Hata mimi nasikia kujishika shavu kama unajua keep debate ikikuwa mzito sana, niliona najishika hivi. Anashindwa hii shimo.
Lazima
yes, you should do that.
Nani
Yes, it is good. It is good when it is good. Ukishika mashavu na mawe ni mzuri. Now I wish all Kenyans wangeshika matama hivyo. I don't know if anyone takes notice of these committees kwa wanauliza maswali. Wakauliza watu maswali.
Yeah, maswali naulizwa unaona
mzalendo.
Yeah.
Na hii ndio ninasema sometimes wakati nasikiza wanasiasa na mimi sina shida na maandamano maana iliwekwa pale kwa sababu sometimes the things that cause us to go on the streets are things that do not matter, things that do not help the people. Lakini kama ningesikia saa hii protest ambayo tunaitisha ni protest ya kusema hatutaki hawa private power suppliers, tunataka waondolewe, na maandamano iseme itaendelea mpaka muondoe hawa watu, that is a noble cause. Kwa sababu kama kuna watu ambao wanafanya wananchi wateseke wakilipa stima gharama ya juu, na hawa wananchi wanajulikana na wako kwa hata kama ni viongozi, they should be forced out of the market. Kama sio hivyo waagushe bei ilingane na Kenyan. Kwa sababu wakati mwingine tukifanya debate hapa na nikisikia some of these submissions, huwa ninajiuliza kweli ni wanadamu huwa wanatunyanyasa hivi ama ni mashetani yametoka kuzimu? I mean,
unajua capitalism.
Maajabu maybe Blacks anaweza tuelezea. Do you think that Kenya has enough electricity ama we are under supplied with electricity?
If Kenyan tells you they have the capacity of producing 100% because they're already giving us 70% of what we are using, then beyond that, is there any other explanation from that? We can do away with these IPPs. Why do we need them? It's either we do away with them, or they revise their prices downwards.
But also
IPPs, our private producers.
But also during the dry season.
Black, maybe to explain to the viewers, what do you mean by private producers of electricity?
Yeah. Before you go there.
Ni kama vile wewe mzalendo unaweza kuwa una produce stima.
Nani huyu ana produce stima Kenya apart from KPLC?
Kuna there are private people that are able to do that. If I can
wana supply stima yao wapi?
Yeah?
Kenya.
They are taking from Kenyan and Ginger from Uganda.
Who are these private entities wale wana supply stima? You know this is a very important discussion. We need to know the private, these guys who are supplying stima. Mimi, for example, nasikia hii for the first time. I need to get to the bottom of it. Nijue kwa hii stima kuna watu wale wanaitwa private wana supply stima other than KPLC.
Yes, there are more than 27, about 30 of them.
Na hata hiyo KPLC mzalendo iko na shareholders. So
of which the government has the,
these shareholders hawezi taka stima iende chini kwa sababu share zao ndizo zinaanguka. So I really don't know how we are supposed to handle.
Mimi nauliza, mnajua Black umeleta mambo ingine hapa, yani imenistua. I'm hearing it for the first time. Ati kuna watu wanaitwa private suppliers of electricity and wanatumia which grid to supply electricity?
I think the main supplier ni Kenya Power, and then the others like Kenyan, Tarkwel and all those are just but grid providers. Wale wana provide electricity to Kenya Power to supply.
Yeah, so unajua kuna wale wana provide hiyo grid ya kuleta hiyo stima na nani. But so shida ya Kenya, is it really juu ukisema Tarkwel hiyo ni shirika ya serikali. Tarkwel si ni ya serikali.
Ndio maana nakwambia
Kenyan si ni ya serikali. Nani anakuambia hizo ni private companies? KenGen ni ya serikali, KPLC is partly owned by the government, and hizo zote.
KPLC does not produce power.
It does not, yes, but it regulates.
It just supplies.
It supplies the power.
It gets from these producers. It gets from these producers, buys from these producers, and supplies it to us.
Yes, and these producers are not private entities. These producers are government.
No. Why do you think they are called independent power producers?
Independent power producers.
Yes.
Like KenGen is an independent power producer.
Let me say this, Mzalendo. Let me say this.
I really want to understand where this is going.
KenGen and all those others.
They are private people that also own.
KenGen
Go ahead,
and
Captain.
all those other things like Takwell and whatever, they supply Kenya power. My question is this: why don't we have KenGen to supply directly to the people, Takwell to supply directly to the people, the way we did to Telecom Kenya? Safaricom came in, Airtel, Telecom Fiber hii ya 4G whatever hizo or 5G.
Lakini wewe hiyo kitu unauliza. No, me I'm asking. So how many grid lines will we be having? Kuna hiyo stima ya power ikikimbia. Hebu zihesabu hizo ni line ngapi za stima? 20 kwa barabara ama ni nini unasema?
24 ama 20 ngapi? Ndio nasema
so zitakuwa hakuna
yenyewe wasipeane power kwa wananchi, grids yenyewe mbona wasipeane kwa wananchi?
Zalendo kuna regions
mimi nauliza okay, sasa kama mnataka wa supply direct.
Yes, that is what we want.
Wa supply direct wakuwe na poles zao,
Yeah.
Poles zao zikimbie sambamba na ya Kenya Power na wa supply stima.
No problem. The poles in Kenya inapita juu and still they can still do ile ya kupitia chini.
Wakwe alternative energy wana supply okay, it is doable, but I don't think those companies have got the capacity. Or rather, what I think is that we don't have that will be surplus of electricity. We have not industrialized to an extent where we need that much of electricity. That is again another issue that you need to.
But Zalendo,
I think Zalendo, you are missing the point here. What that Captain is trying to say.
Why are we still getting electricity from Uganda? Why are we still getting electricity from Ethiopia?
Why are we still getting electricity from Uganda and Ethiopia? While we have these other 20 companies that are supposed to generate electricity. Maybe they are not generating enough electricity. That could be the only answer.
And
you'd even be shocked that getting electricity from Uganda is cheaper than getting our own electricity.
And the funny thing is, when you go to Uganda, not all people in Uganda have electricity in their houses, but they're renting electricity to Kenya. So I don't know how these African governments work.
Because you pay a lot of money to them, that is why they don't want their people. They pay less money. So it's better they export to some people like us.
So
no, ile kitu iko mimi najua shida ya Kenya ni connectivity. Connectivity and bad laws. Those things can always be regulated in government. The tariffs that are being charged in
there was something very important that we were saying. As much as we say that we have enough electricity in Kenya, we said we have to move or start moving from hydroelectrical power, because especially during the dry season, you see we face blackouts so many times, and they affect our industries, they affect even small businesses, and that is why we had brought in the topic of nuclear electricity. So I think the question I was asking is still relevant, because as much as we say we have this hydropower, we need nuclear power, because you see big companies are starting to come to Kenya, and we need to be equipped with electricity. And I was saying, if somebody has the reason, good explanation as to why most of the African nations are not allowed to have nuclear power. Keep black.
They all talk about safety. Safety is number one thing that they talk about.
Yes.
That's all. That's the number one excuse they come with.
South Africa has gone nuclear. Ghana is in the process of going nuclear. Uganda is in the process of going nuclear.
Kenya is
also in the process, but their cost has been exaggerated so much. That's the reason why it has never taken off.
But you know, one thing mnafaa muelewe kwamba Kenya tunaweza tu kuomoka vizuri sana yani. If we can reduce the cost of production and increase make Kenya, buy Kenya.
Yes.
If we can just do that, that's it. Nothing more. We don't even have to focus. We don't even have to focus. We don't even have to focus on exports. Huh?
Who is talking?
For example,
kukaliwa na Joe Biden.
Sorry?
Unasemaje Black?
Yes.
Nasema kama mtawacha kukaliwa na US, Kenya mtaomoka vizuri sana. Lakini kila
shida ndo nakwambia
naenda state
shida
visit America. Unataka kufanya nini?
Shida ni
kwamba state visit America. Unaenda kufanya nini huko?
Ndo nakwambia shida ni hivi kwamba tuna import vitu vingi sana. Kwa mfano, kama nchi yetu tunaweza sema tunapanda palm trees kuweza kupata palm oil. Do you know palm oil is amongst the top 3 imports of our nation? When we have the capacity, tunaweza lima hiyo pale Kenya. Cotton, tunaweza kupanda cotton yetu pale. We have the capacity, we can do that. So if we are importing such things that which we are able and capable of producing, why should we not produce it ourselves? If tunaweza kutengeneza viwanda kupunguza bei ya stima, kulingana na hizo njia tulikuwa tukisema sahihi, ndio kusudi production cost iwe less, then ina maana makampuni nyingi na factory nyingi zitatokea kama hizi za garments. Mkulima wa cotton atauza cotton yake kwenye factory itakuwa na wafanyakazi pale ambao watakuwa wameandikwa watengeneze nguo, sio nguo zile ambazo zimetengenezwa pale zinanunuliwa pale within ndani ya nchi ya Kenya. Would you need to import again nguo or cotton, even ready made clothes? No. Palm oil, manake watu wengi lazima wapike. Same process. Mafuta inatolewa kutoka kwa farmers, wanaenda nauza kwa factories. Factories wanatengeneza hiyo oil. It's possible. So a lot of jobs will be produced over that very reason. So tuna vitu vingi sana tunaweza kufanya. All we just need to do ni kuproduce vitu Kenya na tunaviconsume Kenya. Zita produce jobs, enough jobs, na pesa ya economy, pesa itasuka sana. Hivyo tu ndio tunahitaji kufanya. That's all, nothing much. Hivyo tu. We consume our own. We make our own and consume our own in bulk.
Yeah, we have a lot of ideas. Mimi nadhani shida kubwa ambayo huwa tuko nayo, we have focused so much on politics in our country. Ya kwamba wale wako kwa serikali, kitu cha kwanza wanafikiria sana tutazuia aje hii uongozi wetu ili tuendelee kuongoza. Wale wako nje, tutafanya namna gani ili tuingie kwa serikali ama tutoe hii serikali mwaka huu.
Mburu umegonga ndipo.
Yeah?
Hapo pale umesema, you've summarized the whole discussion. Those who are out in government, they want to get in government, wapore mali. And you know why? You should ask yourself the big why. Why? Why do we want all to get into government? That is the biggest problem. because the private sector does not pay as well as what is in government. These MPs are earning money for free. Ukiingia kwa serikali unapata matenders kama hizo za COVID billionaires for free. You can wake up one day and become a billionaire for free.
Na usupply air.
Now supply air for free, and it's only happening in Africa. Africa, we have very incompetent people. I mean, especially, there are few countries that are hacking it, like Zambia. I think they have now a good president. President was Zambia Sai. That's a good leader that will move them forward. Tanzania, they have a very, very good leader that is reducing cost and really fighting corruption. Kenya, I was giving Ruto say 80% when he came in, but his standards are falling each and every minute. Right now, in my graph, is about 60. So he's keeping going down. It'll be at 40 by the time.
Mimi bado nimemweka pale juu kabisa.
Sijamweka hapo juu.
Mimi bado nimemweka pale hivi. Nimemweka pale juu kabisa.
Sijaanza kuona zile vitu. I expected Ruto to do something like, what I've seen from my predecessor. We didn't have money. I have done this and this, and now all these government officials and trips that are going abroad, hakuna kwenda nje. Yeah, all this money that I'm allocating to the office of Mudavadi and nini, let us cut our expenses by half. Hizi vitu expenses za magari, kununulia watu magari, manini, mafuta, hiyo yote tukate. But you see, the problem is that it affects him in 2027. Juu yeye pia hao wabunge waliingia bunge kupora mali na kupata hiyo pesa. Because government is the best employer right now Mburu in Kenya.
Sasa wewe mzalendo unaongea kuhusu gari. Gari ina cost milioni 3-5.
Sikia.
Hao watu huiba saa hii wanaiba mabilioni. Kwa hivyo hata gari
hiyo ni kidogo, yani unaona ile naweza, unajua uwizi tunasema bado hatuwezi zuia uwizi ya serikali. Ile uwizi kidogo Ruto anaweza zuia, uwizi kidogo ile Ruto anaweza zuia, anaweza sema hii allowances mnapata sasa tukaze kamba, hakuna allowances bunge. Tutumie ile salary tuko nayo for the time being. Nyinyi watu tumeingia hapa tufanyie wa Kenya kazi. Hakuna haja mimi nikulipe ukuje kazini. Hakuna haja nikupatie.
Tuseme kama wewe ndiye rais leo, ungeenda kuondoa allowances kwa watu ambao wamezoea.
Nakwambia that would be the first, that would earn, wacha nikwambie, that would earn Ruto a third term. The day he can just wake up and say, you know what, you guys, we have been earning too much. This is just too much. That salary should come down. Hizi allowances mnakula they are for nothing, because wewe niambie Mburu, wewe unafanya kazi Nairobi, ati unapatiwa commuter allowance ya 1 million monthly ya kwenda job monthly.
Sasa
ya kwenda kutoka parliament uende kutoka Kielelesho ama kutoka Lavington ama kutoka Runda uende bunge, unapatiwa allowance ya 1 million.
Sasa society.
Sasa wakati umesema Ruto aachwe mpaka na wale viongozi walikuwa na yeye abaki akiwa peke yake akijidefend, wakiwa wote wanampiga wakisema hajui chenye anafanya na hajui kufanya kazi, ni wakati umesema aguze their allowances ama yale mambo wanafanya.
Mburu, let me ask you, don't you think the people would be for him kama hizo pesa anaweza toa na zionekane aseme free education and lunch at school? You can see where the money, when we see where the money is going. It's not like when anatoa easy subsidies and we can't see where the money is going. Akitoa hizo zote, hizo benefits zote, na aseme no overseas trip, will do Zoom meetings, we'll reduce them to like 1%. We only go when we need to go. And then this is what we are going to do with that money. We are going to give free health care, kama vile tumesema watoto up to age 5. We are going to give vouchers for them to get food like they do here if you're a low earner. And then our old people are going to be able to go to like things like these, things people can actually see. Do you think even though all the leaders went against him, that the people would not be for him?
You see, actually,
the problem, like I said, the problem, like you mentioned, Uhuru, that in the US maisha iko expensive, lakini watu kuna kazi. So you see, the problem ni kazi hata Kenya. Believe you me, if everyone had the opportunity of being able to work and earning, then even the cost of living would not be so much of an issue because they can find a way out. You see, like now vile unasema room yako unachukua kwenye ukoko unakodisha before, ukiangalia hizo comparisons, you could manage to pay $1,450 because ulikuwa kazi. Hata kazi ya kibarua tu kidogo kidogo unaweza pata hata kama $10, $20 an hour.
Na anaweza ongeza ingine akitaka.
Yes, yeah. So ndo nakwambia shida ni kazi. Kenya ambayo tunahitaji ni kazi. Na ndio maana tunaweza fanya hivyo ni reduce cost of power, cost of production, tuongeze viwanda vingi vya value addition na reduce cost of agriculture to be able to produce some of the things or most of the things that we import as raw materials kama hiyo palm oil, cotton. You even imagine tuna import hadi cotton kutoka Tanzania, Uganda.
And I think Paul Oguna talked about something. You see
palm oil tuna import kutoka Malaysia. Over $80 million to spend on cotton, on palm oil. That is around 8 billion. So you can imagine if that money badala kutumia kule nje, tungelikuwa farmers wetu wamepanda palm oil such that we can locally source this palm oil for our factories. How many farmers do you think will be employed on that? And how many people will be employed katika hizi factories?
Yeah. What you are saying is very accurate.
Okay. For the people who want to join, the link is there. This is Mutembei TV. We are discussing this and that, state of the nation. The link is there, has been shared. Everybody can join if they want to join.
Yes.
And there's one thing that
ladies.
did.
What did you say?
There's something Bologuna said that I want us not to forget.
Yes.
That I don't want our people to fall in it. Most of us here, we have traveled, and we know how traveling is, how costly it is before you take a plane and all whatever. It really costs. There's this thing from somebody from Germany coming to Kenya to agree on how they can export manpower to Germany. So please, our people, think twice before you subscribe going to Germany.
And you have decided to run away. You will come and finish what we are saying.
Before, can I continue on that note?
I wanted to answer you on a question you asked me, why Ruto is supposed to take those allowances away from those government leaders, because the people will be for him, even if the leaders.
If he takes it away from them and he puts it into benefits for people which can actually be seen.
This is what I wanted to say, Ashley. You know what happens in the government or in any organization? You cannot perform when you are alone. He's just a president, and he needs to work with so many other people for him to perform. So if he tries to remove their allowances, what will happen? Even those who supported him, they will start sabotaging him, and they will not let him be able to do anything. They will not pass his bills in parliament. They will sabotage him. Even sometimes you don't even know who is sabotaging you, because people are resistant to change. So you be very careful to do that, because they won't let him do anything. So he must be very careful on that. I know they're supposed to sit down and agree on how they can handle such things. But actually, for me, I think the problem is not even the allowances they get, because across the world, leaders get those allowances. What I think the problem is, we have so many big offices in Kenya. We have so many jobs. These leaders, we have so many positions in Kenya that are not supposed to be there.
And the same position are for the same reason you said, because he has to also cater for his people, the people who chose him. So at a point, he has to talk to the people who chose him and tell us, let us work for the people this term, and maybe next time we can do something for ourselves. So just like the way he's asking people to give him, to be patient, why can't he turn to the leaders and tell them to be patient, to have enough with their salary, because they are being paid well? This is a third world country. For a person to be paid 15,000, which is somebody's salary per sitting, so that if you go for 4 sittings per week, you are going home with so much money that even those are 3 people who you'd have employed with that money. So why can't he talk to his people, those leaders that support him, and tell him, let us work together to help people?
Ashley, SRC tried to do that, and do you know what happened? These MPs ganged up together. The salaries and remuneration. Salaries and remuneration. Unless I speak slowly, we pronounce this. The salaries and remuneration.
SRC. Promulgation.
Unanipoteza kabisa.
Yes,
SRC.
They had removed.
Yes, they had removed that sitting allowance, but wakapigwa vita
kubwa sana.
Parliamentarians wakashikana wakasema hata wataitoa hiyo SRC yenyewe, it will stop existing, and they have the ability to do that. So you can imagine, it's not something that has not been spoken about, Ashley. It's been spoken about, and just as recent as this year, January, hiyo ndo story ilikuwa inafanyika. Uliona wote members of opposition and government walishikana. Wakanga pale SRC, ikabidi wa revise.
Na unajua wanaweza shikana watoage president, vita ingine haijaionekana.
So you see,
wewe unaona mambo ya CDF ilikuwa outlawed.
Our people so that when they wakishikana nao si to recall.
Wewe sikia, CDF ilikuwa outlawed. Hao parliamentarian hata sijui saizi walipata hiyo CDF aje tena.
They put it into law.
That's it. They're capable of doing that.
No, Hamasi, it was outlawed by the courts. It was an illegal.
So they maneuver them and they put it now, it's part of law. So it cannot be out.
They put it very recently.
Yes.
So Kenya, we have a big problem, and our big problem, our enemies, our own leaders that we pay with our own money. And
that we choose them. And that's the problem. We need to know who to choose next time, and it shouldn't be there.
Actually, Ashley, I don't even think it's about who we choose. The problem is that we have many of them in those positions. We have so many elective or appointive positions. We also have so many constitutional positions. Sometimes it becomes easier when you are managing a few people than when you are managing a crowd of high-profile people. Yani ni wezi.
Okay.
Tuko na wezi na tuko na wezi wengi sana Kenya.
How about we reduce them and then we increase the police force so that the police presence is felt on the ground?
We should now start advocating for firearms. Citizens should be given should own guns.
Own guns. Yes, are not disciplined for that. But if we increase our police presence, I think our streets will be safer. Our villages will be safer.
Kwa sababu
anyway, Mburu wateni wa Mburu na Ashley na Mutembei na mapanelist wote wamekuwa hapa. Me, I am begging to leave. Tomorrow I have an early morning, guys. Mburu, endelea na show na Ashley, mko gangari. Wacha watu Mtembei pia anaweza ingiza watu hapo. Kuna watu wanataka kuingia kwa show.
Anybody who want to join us can join us, but we should be planning to wide up.
Mburu, asante sana. Na wale wote walijumuika kwa topic ya leo. We have discussed so many issues affecting our country. I hope we will be together again this evening to see of any development. Otherwise, thank you very, very much. You are in good hands of a beautiful lady who we never see her face, called Ashley. And,
actually, it's late. It's almost.
And Mburu, asante sana bwana.
Yeah, we should be planning to wide up, unless there are some people who want to join and maybe continue. But as we were talking, keep welcome. I strongly feel that we need somebody who help us to come up with a proposal to reduce these members of parliament. There are so many. Reduce the senators, reduce the women representatives, reduce the governors, reduce the MCAs.
And remove the seat of the deputy governor. We need to remove it like yesterday.
And also reorganize the former provincial administration. It is still there, intact, and people are still getting salaries. We also have so many appointive positions. Remember,
you don't need nominated senators. What are they for? They are of no use.
So I don't know who will help us, but I thought there was this gentleman, Ashley, who came up with the post-constitutional, alikuwa anaitwa nani?
Kule wa Third Way Alliance. Punguza mizigo.
He had a very good proposal, and that is what he was trying to do. Lakini Wakenya lazima wangefuata hawa viongozi wakubwa ambao wamejifanya ni kama ndio miugu yetu. And the proposal of that gentleman could not even see the right. Lakini alikuwa amejaribu sana, kwa sababu alikuwa anasema mzigo ni mzito sana. Wakenya wanalipa pesa nyingi sana kwa hawa watu wakubwa. So hizo positions zinastahili kuondolewa kabisa.
Ni ukweli, because kama hizo positions, with all those positions, Shakahola still happened because they were busy politicians. It didn't help.
So actually, unajua Kenya, we are 50 million people. America, we are 350 million people. America has 50 governors. Kenya, with 50 million people, we have 50 governors. Just compare. So tulichukua constitution ya Amerika tukakopi na tukapaste kwa nchi yetu. Nchi ambayo tungekuwa tuna magavana kama 5 ama 6 na ikuwe sawa. In fact,
to copy kunini vile their corruption. Kucorrupt huku it's very hard. Kwa nini hatukopi hizo? Tuna copy tu zile za kukula.
So kainchi kadogo kama hako tuko na 50, tuko na 40 something governors. I mean, some how 40 what? 47 governors in a small country like Kenya with 50 million people.
I don't even know where we moved that. The 8 provinces.
Tuko na 47 county governments.
You see, like we have 8 governors.
Everything.
8 governors for the long time it used to be Rift Valley, Central, Eastern, Western. There are 8 provincial.
It looked more of a tribal, whatever, provinces. So they wanted to remove that, but still they would have maybe made them to be like, combine them with others and maybe make them, or just add some few of them, but not make them 47.
Kama ukichimbwa, kama huku kwa Shakahola kuko na women rep, kuna MCA, kuna deputy governor, kuna, where were all those people? So you see, the fact that we have all these leaders doesn't make a place safer, and neither does it serve the people more.
The reason was to bring money closer to the people.
But that is not bringing money, because you're paying those people, and those people have offices, and they also.
But actually, guys, so guys, you should realize that Aisha Juma had brought up this issue last 2019 of this Shakahola guy, Mackenzie.
So that's why I keep saying our security is the most, and the judiciary. Those are the two organs of government, or I don't know whether they're in government. Those are the two organs that are failing Kenyans: security and our judiciary. Because in America,
it's the judiciary.
It's so hard in America when you are taken to court and the prosecutor asks for time. Most of the time, the prosecutor will be given the time they need, unless there is a reason for them not to do it. The judiciary works so much with the police if they take someone to court. Not like where in Kenya, the judiciary will give people 7 days, even if the prosecution is asking for 30. In America, it is so easy for the prosecution to get what they want, unless there is a good reason for them to deny the prosecution what they want.
The problem is our courts.
You know,
our courts is the problem.
Yeah, our judiciary. Because the other day I was very disappointed, because I think with Pastor Ezekiel being as influential as he is, he should have been let to stay in as long as the prosecution was asking, so that they can do whatever it is that they want to do, because I don't think they're just following him out of the blues for no reason. They should have been given enough time to do their investigation if they ask for it.
Yes, of course. And then you get to see a very big respected leader mingling around with him. You know, that's already sanitizing him, you know.
That is why he should have not been let out, because now you see, even if someone is a witness, they'll be scared. Right there.
Of course.
And they will disappear too.
Of course.
But the problem is that our political leaders, they like interfering with the investigations. They like making what we call getting political mileage. That's why they are doing all what they are doing. So sometimes they even lie to their electorates. They give them wrong information, not to know the truth. So it's unfortunate that you're in that situation, but I strongly feel something should be done. And the people we have in the government right now cannot help us to do it. So
we need people, someone like Miguna should be put in somewhere like security. You know, he will not compromise. But we have to, these people who are appointing, maybe even them, they don't want someone strict, because they also want.
Watu wanastahili to come up with a proposal of what they want without politicians. Totally. Wapeleke watu waseme, wakae chini, sijui tutafanya namna gani, tuseme hivi ndivyo tunataka kuongozwa, and we put it as a document, whether we shall use a layman's language, sijui venye tutafanya, maana tumesema time and again tunataka viongozi na kesho ya kupunguza watu walienda, in fact hata kwa BBI walikuwa wameongeza watu ili walikuwa wameongeza watu ili watu waone ya kwamba tumepewa some constituencies support more. So tukiendelea kupatia hawa wanasiasa kila kitu wafanye, wanaendelea kutuharibia nchi because they don't care. Shida sio ya kwamba hatutaki watu waajiriwe, lakini hatutaki those big positions. There are so many. Na hawa watu mnanipea mshahara kubwa, mnanipea allowances nyingi,
office yako furnished. You have a secretary, you have also a staff. So azibaki pesa za kubakishia wananchi hakuna. So what service are they going to give? None. So,
unakuta pesa yote ya taxes karibu yote inaenda kwa kulipa viongozi.
Alafu wanashinda wakienda out of the country.
So pesa yenye tunafanya development nayo lazima tukope. We shall never develop our country. Na hatutawahi weza.
Yes, what was I saying? No, not jokes. Mburu.
Yes.
Nilipotea sijui network kama nani alinitoa.
Sasa tunakusikia vizuri sana. Ni wewe ulipotea, hata ulikuwa unaongea nikadhani umeona topic yako ni mzito ukatoroka.
Hapana, nafikiri ni nini? Nafikiri ni network kama nini, hata sielewi. Unaona hata hapa nimenipoteza mara mbili. Nilikuwa nasema hii mambo ya chancellor wa Germany vile amevisit nchi kwa sababu ile desperation ya watu wetu hawana kazi, they end up falling in that trap whereby they want to go to Germany.
Watu waende.
Wacha mambo ya kwenda haina shida. Watu wakafall in the trap, wanalipa pesa,
nafasi
hakuna visa.
Nafasi ikipatikana nani? Hao watu milioni sijui ngapi?
Ni sawa.
Watu milioni 3 wameenda job bwana.
Ni sawa, sikataa hiyo, nasema kuna trap itaangukia wale watu ambapo haitakuwa genuine trap. Wataangukia mahali babaya na pesa zitakuwa zimeenda. Unaona?
Alafu something else I want
to wametravel kama nyinyi na labda mimi ama nani, we know how to go. We know how to go about these things. So our people, unajua mtu ametoka ushago pale haelewi what is happening, how is this done, sijui uende uchukue passport, uende embassy, uende kufanya nini, unaelewa?
Yeah, I think what our leaders fail to do when they get such opportunities, and that's why they should talk to people who have traveled out of the country. Like now, I wish Ruto would have tried to ask him to bring, because they manufacture cars, to bring their plant to Kenya, where the plant can employ people in Kenya, so that people are not leaving their families and going out of the country. Some people want to go, but just some people go just because they have to feed their families. But okay, they can offer that issue of people going, but they should also try and talk to them to bring their plants, because Germany brings plants to the US. So they can also try to talk to them to bring a plant in Kenya, where they manufacture parts for cars.
So what happens unless those private companies in Germany decides to do so?
No, you have to solicit, just like they were soliciting.
The environment is very good, but in the short run, if there is that opening to go to Germany, Germany is a very strong economy. So
yeah, at least.
For me, I'm telling people, kwa sababu nimekaa Kenya na nimekaa nje ya Kenya. Maisha ya Kenya mimi najua ni ngumu kabisa. So ukipata nafasi kama hiyo, ichukue. Today the world has become one. Sasa ile kitu watu wanastahili kujua ni hizo kampuni za huko Germany wanataka watu wako qualified kiasi gani. Ni kampuni zenye ziko huko ni za kazi gani haswa, waanze kuacquire skills. Ili hiyo opening ikipatikana, mtu aende afanye kazi, because still the qualifications.
But Muru, that's what Ruto is doing now. I think the trip when he went to Korea, he had the same agreement with the Korean government in matters to do with marine jobs. Wakasema that they will send the Korean counterparts to the Kenyan institutions ambao wana provide this marine jobs education, ama rather skills, kama vile bandari in Mombasa. There is a Bandari College in Mombasa.
Yes.
Sasa hii Bandari College in Mombasa, wale South Koreans will go there and then try to help streamline the level of training in that institute. Yes. So that by the time wale watu wana graduate kutoka Bandari College, they have exactly what is required by the job market in Korea in matters to do with marine jobs. So you see tayari hapo wanapata kazi kiurahisi. The same thing happens with Japan. Japan is doing the same. Yes. And Germany is about to do the same. And so you see, once they get this education streamlined in matters to do with their skills training, then they'll be marketable. Because if you're going to a certain institute that has been accredited by these countries, it's easier to get a job, right?
And this is why I'm saying Kenyans should be free to go outside wherever they want, and also we should be more accommodative. Nimekuwa nikiona watu wakileta shida hao wa Chinese wamekuwa wengi sana Kenya. It's a good thing. There are things the locals can learn. There are skills these people can bring in Kenya that we don't have. Na hivyo ndivyo nchi huwa inakuwa. Na sisi tukipata nafasi ya kuenda nje, enda nje pia. Kwa sababu today the world is becoming one. Wale watu wako na huko nje saa hii wanaleta pesa nyingi sana Kenya. Kwa sababu at the end of the day we say east or west.
But now, that's another thing we need to talk about, because now I've heard that they want to put tax on M-Pesa, which is, I feel, unfair. Because if you've already paid tax on that money and then when you're sending to somebody, you're also taxed again. I don't think that's where they should be looking for money. They should look elsewhere.
Yeah.
Or you don't mind paying?
No, we don't allow that. We cannot allow that, because any government, when they come in with their own issues. If you see, even the athletes, when they go, they run marathon somewhere, before entering Kenya, they have been taxed already.
Yeah.
It started just like that.
If this tax was going to be for good reason, we can say, but if they are stealing the money, just the other day, Bandi of Park already said someone built a road for 1 kilometer with, was it 65 million? So you see, they are taking this money and then they are stealing it.
Yes.
Even Muturi of the Attorney General, they were given donations of 45 million. It's disappeared, or it's unaccounted for, or it's being mismanaged. Those are only two, and the government is not even 1 year old. And we are talking of millions.
You see now.
Who about Muturi? Who is Muturi?
Is it the one Justin Muturi? Yes.
The Attorney General.
They were given 45 million. It was for legal implementation and service delivery programs. 45 million, and he can't explain it where it's gone to. And then there's this other guy in Bomet University. He said there was a construction of a 1 kilometer road. Do you know how much he's saying he used? 64 million. The money has already been dispersed to the person, the contractor. When they went to look, nothing has been done. There is no road. And it's 1 kilometer, 64 million.
Yeah, so, Kenya is a country of thieves.
So these are the people who want to take your money because they want to generate income. So you're like, even if they are taking our money, they're not taking it to use for good use. They are taking it to steal it.
There is something, Ashley, you had mentioned about. That's why I had requested you to repeat about this. Is it Kisii Governor Simba Arati?
Yeah.
When he was dealing with ghost workers. And we saw that there were so many ghost workers, people who were being paid, but they don't even have jobs to do. And
they are drivers, they don't even have a driving license for the last 3 years. And
somebody is a driver, but there is no car aside.
Or the insurance, even for the cars, if the insurance was supposed to be comprehensive, and either it's limited or it's limited, it's not comprehensive, but the government has been giving them for comprehensive insurance.
So
yet we can't have more insurance.
So for me, what came in my mind is that this county, we can use it as just an example of what or how the county governments are being run in Kenya. The question which was coming in my mind is, what are other counties doing? Have other counties sorted out the issue of ghost workers because they went quiet, or they are still paying these ghost workers because other counties never did the same? Because that is what I was expecting to hear from them.
And that is what I was expecting the government, the national government, to require them. Before they ask for this money that they are asking for now, they should be told to do an audit and to present it. And then they should be told to go and collect that money that they have misused from wherever it is before they are given more money. Because how can you continue to give them money if they cannot be accountable for the previous money? That's what needs to happen. Otherwise, even if you keep taxing people, if the money is not being used for the right purpose, it's still going to go. There's nothing that's going to be done.
Sometimes I wonder who is going to help Kenya. I wonder who is really going to help our country, because our leaders are crazy. They steal shamelessly. They don't develop the country the way they are supposed to develop the country. And they are so confident to come and say, face the people, asking them to vote for them again. And sometimes these people, they enter into politics with nothing. But after 5 years, they are billionaires. They have houses all over. They have land all over. They have, the best life you can ever got of. So I don't know exactly, because it is good we have the social media today. We are able to talk these things out. But
I agree for the day when here at Mutembei we'll stop talking. We've been talking since this channel was opened, and get somebody, if it's a lawyer, who will take pen and paper and start writing these resolutions and look for a way that they can be presented either to the president or to the parliament. We need now the part of action. We've talked enough. We need to have a day.
That's what I'm saying. That yes, Kenyans are talking. We have heard Kenyans. We have heard their cry. At what time, at what point shall we say it is the time of action? Because we cannot continue like this. People are stealing, time in, time out. Another government comes. They continue with the same thing. We come here, we talk about it. Then that day goes. Then tomorrow we shall come here, talk about the same things. That go, it reaches to the point when we shall say, no, it should not just be talking.
Because like even 50% that is being
abused, we put them down, and we have to sometimes force the government to implement.
And to tell them, to take away, like someone was saying, if I have a house and you're telling me to contribute money so we can have houses, what if I'm not interested in a house? I have used my money, I have got money from wherever I've got it, and I have got my house. Now you want to force me to give 3% so that other people can have houses. Now when you are doing that, what if, let's assume Ruto won't go in 2027 and that program is stopped and the money is stolen? Money that people really need.
Actually, what I can say for myself, from my own point of view, and I've been looking out the lifestyle of these people around me, is the way they operate their lifestyle. Is that for me, my kids are in school in Kenya. They are schooling very well. I pay them school fees. I make sure they study very well. They go to Form 4. They get some small college. I make sure they get some small certificates or college to go to another place outside the Kenya, which is very much okay. For me, I can stay where I am, or I can go to another country. My kids, when they go outside the country, don't think they will think of going back to Kenya. So when they tell us now that you people, you are doing this and that, that is, they are going outside of our topic, because mzungu ana shughuli ati sijui hapo mbele baadaye nani atakaa namna gani ama nani. We can do this thing whereby we make the betterment of the life of the people in Kenya by some of us sacrificing. We are outside the country. We make the other people to go outside Kenya to expose what's happening in Kenya. Because when we talk like this, we cannot talk like this when we are at home back in Kenya. They will start tracking your phone, tracking your device. Which network was he using? Where is this person? Can we arrest him? Can we do this and that? We can think outside the box like that.
Yes, we need to come up with something. And we also get people on the ground. We are people who can fund for a common cause, for a noble cause. If for really we were supporting somebody like Uhuru or Court, somebody we can think of working with. This guy had really tried to capture what is needed for Kenya to be a better place. But these heavyweights could not allow his bill to see the light, could not allow that proposal to go through. Why? Because they only want to put in things that favor them.
Actually, Ruto, what's his name? Raila called it upuzi. Yake ya BBI ndio atelifikiri ni mzuri. Look at BBI and look at punguza mzigo. Which one was really for the people?
You see? So wanasema hii ya huyu mtu kwa sababu yeye hana nguvu na hana influence kubwa, tumweke kando. Ndivyo nasema hivi, sisi watu wenye wako diaspora tuko na uwezo hata wa kufund, hata wa kufanya hata whatever is needed. If we can mobilize na tuseme ya kwamba kuna mtu hapa na alikuwa na plani mzuri sana. Shida ni kwamba hakuwa na uwezo mzuri wa kuelezea watu what is in this bill. He can even bring that bill again. We revisit, we let people go through it. We put our ideas there that we believe can help our country to be better. Kutoka hapo tuseme this is the bill of Wajiko. And this bill mwenye ataipinga tunampinga. It is possible. It is doable.
Kama unajua kuna kitu Gachagua alisema, and he was doing it mockery, but we should hold him. I like to hold people. I like that clip, and I would like to go to him with that clip with another suggestion. Akasema watu wa Nyandarua hawataki nusu mkate, wataki tupatie nani, ati they are our employers. Nani lisikiza hiyo clip? Si nyinyi ndio mmetuandika? Sisi wanafanyikazi wenyu. Akawauliza, wanasema sasa ninyi mnataka nusu mkate, wakasema hapana. Akasema we can't do anything that you don't want us to do because you are our employers. Sasa tuwapelekee hiyo clip, tuambie na kitu kingine, hatutaki mtu analipwa more than this amount in government. Since we are your employers na umesema unatusikiza, how about we implement these two? Hivyo ndio tuko supposed kuwa hizo matamshi zao tuende tuwafunge nazo kamba. Let us see the hypocrisy in them, because they are saying we dictate what they do. How about we actually dictate what they do, and we take it to him, and we take it to him what he said, and we take it to him what we now want, and with signatures, 1 million, 2 million, 5 million signatures of Kenyans.
We should now start thinking on serious action, because when we say there is a big problem in the structure of our leadership, big problem also in this constitution that we gave ourselves, because to a larger extent we allowed the politicians to determine what we need, but it's not what we need, it's what they need themselves, so that we may continue being their subject. And in my mind, I was thinking that actually we already have somebody who had tried. It's only that he was not having enough strength.
Before we go there, that's really big, because it failed in the MCA walilipwa. So it kind of, walilipwa, they were hongwa, they were bribed. So another thing, baby steps. Okay, baby steps would be if we would just start with making sure this person who dictates whether to give MPs allowances or not, if we could remove them from being able to remove him, like they become independent, maybe hired by who can hire, not like Parliament can actually remove him from or her from her position. And that is why I heard that she agreed, because she had refused completely to put the allowances, but they started threatening her to remove her. So we need to have a position that they cannot remove.
Yes.
So that
I don't know how that can work, because she also needs to be checked. But
she can be checked, but they can't remove her unless she has done, like she can't be removed just for, they threatened to remove her because she was refusing to return the allowances. You see?
Yeah.
So how can she be checked how can that office be independent without threat?
Because these leaders, they get crazy money.
They get the deals, they get the tenders. I mean, they get everything. So that when you see, kuna mtu alikuwa ananiambia in Kenya right now, the only people who are bringing up buildings, shooting up buildings, is the politicians. That's why everybody wants to go to politics.
Na sasa wale ambao wako nje, wenye wako huko kwa cold, kwa opposition, mnadhani watakubali kukaa huko? Watawasumbua mpaka muwaambie sasa kujeni.
Wanataka kuingizwa wakule.
Guys, there's one thing that we don't know, or you don't know, is that in Kenya, if I came into politics, or I came into parliament with your party as Mburu, there is some amount I'm supposed to be giving you in every month on my salary or from my CDF or whatever. That is the problem where it is coming from. That is why whenever like somebody like Jalango joins the government or goes to State House, Raila thinks that he has been told not to pay Raila this amount and that amount. That is why he's demanding for Jalango and other people who are not loyal to the party to be removed, and they elect another people, whereby they'll be giving money to the leader of the party. I don't know if that is, if you know such things.
Yes, I understand. Talking about being loyal to the party, but should you be loyal? And they representatives of the people. They are not representatives of Raila. They are not representative of the party. They are representatives of the people. And when they say that someone needs to leave and then go and seek again, why are you misusing people's money? Isn't that money that is going to be used again to do another election? So why should you to misuse?
I think in the Constitution, if somebody shows allegiance to another party and somebody decides I'm going to support another party, I think that person is supposed to step down and go back to the people. But
that's wasting money. That's wastage of money, because an election is money. If you talk like that, if you say like that, you see, like Ruto came, he said that he was going to give free hustler fund. Even him, he needs to step down because he hasn't changed the party, but he actually lied. Did he say he's going to give free hustler funds? Yes. I can send you a link. He said that with his mouth. Yeah. There are so many things to say.
Like that. It was like
yes. So there is a lot of things even they say they haven't changed the party, but what they say they will do now, they are doing different. Now they are bringing GMO. Did they talk about GMO? Did they talk about giving 50 CSS? These are things, the things they talked about, they are telling us now it will take 2 years. Why didn't they tell us then it will take 2 years? So what I'm saying is, these things of telling the people, remember, these elections cost money. Money people don't have even to eat. Money people don't have to send their children to school. So as long as that person is still performing and doing the work that they told the people they will do, regardless of whatever outfit he's putting in, we should not subject the people to misuse money for him to run again just to make a statement. That is misuse of money. He should just not be able to win the next time. In America, when someone not really crosses over, when someone is like, if you're a Democrat and you remember this Democrat who was working so much with the Republicans until he was making jail, he didn't get back. So that you just wait for his time to get finished, and then the next time he'll either cross or he will not. What you do? It's simple as that. Because we have to also be good stewards of the money that we are getting from the people. We cannot be misusing people's money. Going back to the place, unless the party is going to pay for him, it should not be the people. The expense should not come from the people. It should not come from the people.
Actually, but those are our laws. So what we can say is that these people have not left ODM, but they have differed, or they are having different opinion from the opinion of the others. So, but if they have decided to shift their allegiance,
and they haven't,
divide in, they are supposed to step down.
And let me tell you something. One of the reasons, like now, even ODM or Azimio did not tell these people that they are going to tell them to reject the president. This is a new development. So even when they have new development, you can't force me. When you have, like now you decide we are not going to accept the win, and you yourself, you saw the election, you think it was fair, you think Ruto won fairly, and then your party is now saying they will not recognize Ruto. You as a person, you see that according to you, he won. This is post-election. This is not pre-election. So you can have changed your mind post-election. It's like getting married, and then your partner changes. They start behaving the way they were not behaving before you marry. Then you have to decide, am I going to continue staying with this person or not? So you can be with them, like now they are still in the party, they just don't agree with those new things that they have started, like Mandamano. They don't want to, they are told not to recognize the president. Those are new things. So you can't say that Jalango has changed. No, you have brought new policies and he doesn't agree with them. And you can be in the
party. Even Sabina Chege said,
party and not agree. It doesn't mean that if I don't agree with what you're saying, I'm not in that party. You can't tell me to go to the other party. What if I want to remain in this party? You can't force someone to leave because you want them to think a certain way. You have to give people their independence of mind.
That's what I was saying. If they decide to show that they are supporting another party and the agenda of another party, according to the law, they are supposed to step down and vie with another ticket.
No, but they can support them, doesn't mean, but we don't have to always be adversaries. That's what our democracy does not understand. In fact, a good system is where...
But right now, they are still in their own parties. What they are saying is that they are not disagreeing with what their leaders have decided to do. They are not agreeing with maandamano. They are also not agreeing with the decision of not recognizing the government. And I think
issues, what from the Azimio, on the other issues about the Azimio, they are agreeing with them. So what is bad with saying I'm going to work with the president? It helps as Kenyans to form a united, like if the president brings a proposal that is good, why would you refuse it? Until destabilizing your own country? It doesn't make sense to me to say that I'm going to work against the government. Who are you punishing, if not your people, the people you represent?
So do you think Jarango will ever be voted again in Langata?
We don't know. It depends. If the people are smart enough, they look at what he has done and then they will decide from there. But if people are foolish and they go with the leader, maybe not, because if it's still going to be an Azimio stronghold, he won't. But I pray by the next election we'll be looking on things as issues, policies, and he'll come up with a policy. And if people like what he's saying, they will vote him. That's where we need to go.
Yeah,
and we need leaders like those.
I listened to his explanation to the people, and he was telling people, you voted for me to bring development. And right now, the person who can help me bring those development is the president. So is there anything wrong if I go and get money to bring development in this area, bring projects in this place? But how many people will say no? Though he did all those things, he did not do what Baba wanted him to do. And not only in the ODM zones, but also in other places like Central. You have seen when Mother Karua differed with Kibaki, she was rejected totally.
But don't even go too far. Right now, UDA is having a problem in Kiambu. This MCA, what's her name? The women rep. She has this thing about one man, 1 shilling, 1 vote. And she's saying that when she brings it up, people are telling her not to do that. And she said, I have to talk about it. I don't care whether it is one of the agendas of UDA or not. And I like those divergent people. Those are the people we should choose the next time, because we need people who are not going to follow the leader at the detriment of ourselves, of the people that they...
That's a discussion we are supposed to have, because for sure, not only Kiambu, but all the populated places in Kenya, they are getting a low deal when it comes to resource distribution. Because you cannot be telling us that in some places, people can get almost 50,000 in terms of bursaries, some of them taking people to study abroad. But where this money is coming, or large amount of money is coming from, they cannot afford to give 3,000 bursaries.
And that's why we need educated people in parliament. Do you know how to solve this problem? They should have just done the money is given through the Ministry of Education. When the money is given through the Ministry of Education, then the people from the pastoralists will not say that they want 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 kilometer, because then are the animals going to school? So if we put this money, it is educational funds. So regardless of where you're coming from, if you're in need, you can go to your district or your county. Then it is given through the county educational fund. Then it is different than just giving money to the county, because then other places are also saying they need to be given depending on how much land they have.
Because if we say then we don't want 1 man, 1 shilling discussion, then counties can say, okay, can each county spend what they get? Because you cannot be having other people working for you. You see? There should be a formula where people feel that they are getting the value of their contribution.
But instead of giving money just like that, like a check, a blank check, that is why I said, in fact, the new formula that I think Ruto has implemented for money for college and TVETs, if it is done the right way, that is the right thing to do, because then now he's gone to where it depends how much you make, how much your family makes, and that is what you're going to be given. Even this other one, that's how it should be done. It shouldn't be from the locality where you're coming from. It is the students that are in need, that there is no student who needs to go to school, who should stay at home. They make sure that every student that has a need gets money and gets funded. And then if there is another one for pastorally to develop their area, that is another program and another project with its own special budget. And that way, even accountability will come into place, and also management.
Do you know, Ashley, even here in America, you have gone to places and you have seen some places have very good roads and other places don't have very good roads. What happens? People are given developments basing on the contribution they make towards taxes. So kama nyinyi huwa mnalipa taxes vizuri, mtakuta barabara zenu zimetengenezwa vizuri, zimewekwa rami vizuri, and you get the services because you have worked for it and you have paid this money to the government to work for you. And the same formula should be applied in Kenya. Wale ambao wanalipa those taxes, kitu cha kwanza muhakikishe wako na maji, wako na barabara. All those considerations lazima zinafanywa. Lakini huwezi kuwa unafanya kazi kubwa, lakini wakati nakuja ni kugawa pesa, hamupati kitu.
Let me say something. What did you
fanya hata tukose kuchagua hata kama ni Ruto? Hiyo round nyingine. Kama hii mambo ya watu
time, akuna around 5 years is too much. Someone can destroy the country. You know, in Mexico, what the president did when he was half-term, he asked people to do a vote of confidence in him, whether he need to continue or to finish his term, or whether he need to drop so that someone else can be chosen. In Kenya, we need to have half-time to avoid people.
I don't think we are. Okay, it's a good suggestion, but I don't think we are right.
Mburu.
Yes.
Are you getting me?
Yes, clear.
So my question is this: we've been here for long, not only today or yesterday or the other day. We've been here since even before election, before even that's that long anyway. The informations we are talking here, is these politicians we are talking about, are they getting what we are talking about?
Sometimes
they are getting what they are talking about, what we are talking about. What are the actions? Because sometimes maybe we see the actions, maybe we don't see the actions. How in another way can we deliver this information to them?
Good question. I don't think we should have a passive approach.
Organize ourselves. We are going to organize ourselves.
Yeah, good. We organize ourselves instead of having a passive
a structured leadership, whereby we correct all the views that we hear here from the comments, from the panel, the panel of people here. We put them down, we scrutinize them, we see the one that can help, and we put them in a form of proposals. We can give the proposal to the government, which I believe it can help, but also it will reach a point whereby maybe we look for other avenues if the government does not act on those things. But still, the purpose of coming in the media is to inform the people. There are people down there who get what we are saying, and maybe they are in a position to do something. For instance, the reason why largely we voted this government, especially people from central Kenya, is because they said they are going to implement the agenda of or the issue of one man, one vote, one shilling. That is to say that resource distribution will be done according to the population, not the kilometers of land and all that. So you give people money basing on how many they are. And also, not forget, I'm not saying 100% that they have to forget other considerations, but what people are saying, that the people who are paying much money, a county like Kiambu, they are getting very little, to the extent that they are not able to give bursaries to the children, because what they are getting is not equal to the population or equal to what they contribute towards the government. So that is a thing that can make Ruto government to be rejected totally, if they pretend that they don't know why people in some places voted for them. So I think we might not do much, but we keep on talking. But where we can come down, compile a good proposal of what people have been saying here, we can hand it over to the government and see what they can do about it.
And Guru, you came up with a very good opinion when you talked about, like in the US, you know, I think most of the money that the county makes, or the state, they stay with the money. There is money that there is revenue from the state and there is revenue from the federal government.
Yes.
So we need to interrogate how much of the state and federal government, because some states, or even cities, when cities make their own revenue, they keep that money. So you find some cities are better off. Mm-hmm. Even the school systems are way better than some places where have poor schools. Those places with poor schools do not collect as much taxes from their people. You find that even governors in some states solicit for companies, like from the way we are saying, they go to German, or they call them, they have a good relationship, they talk with those people, car makers, they come and manufacture those cars part in your state. That brings employment to your state. So those are things that even governors themselves can do, but they should keep that revenue within that county. That will encourage most governments to go out to solicit for businesses, for manufacturers to come to their state or to their county, so that money stays in the county. So that however much effort you've put is how much your county will develop. So that you don't get so much
value for their money. Value for what they contribute.
Yes.
But then, you see, question that I have is, has anybody ever taken time to take the governors, to make the governors being accountable to the revenue they collect? Who actually even knows which county collects what revenues from their own counties, within their own counties? To be honest, I don't know, right? Hakuna mtu anajua eti county yake ime collect pesa ngapi revenue, because kila county kuna mabiashara na there's this trading licenses that every business has to pay to the county.
Hizo pesa huenda wapi?
So to say there is no county in Kenya right now that gets zero revenue from its county, because kila county kuna biashara, to kiosk, to nini, to duka, to dogo, there's something happening there. So these businesses, they do pay some trading licenses to the counties. How much do the counties collect of this? Counties zinakuanga pia na parking fees. How much have they collected of this? Counties zina collecting easy pesa za land, mtu ulipa land rates. How much of this have they collected? So accumulate hizo sources of revenue for these counties, how much have they collected? Does anyone put them in, make them accountable for what they've collected? That's the question.
That is why we have the county government.
And how are these monies utilized? Has anybody questioned that? I have never heard that. All I hear is the money that was disbursed from the national government is what is usually being held into account. Unaonanga Senate wanapigania hiyo, nani alitumia pesa vibaya, alifuja pesa vibaya. But what about the money that is actually earned within that county? What happens to that? Now those are the questions that we ought to start asking ourselves. And then on the issue of the one man, 1 shilling, 1 vote, I think it's a matter of us having another census, first of all. Because like somebody said here before, and we've had this discussion before, some of these regions, the numbers that the number of population that we have in some regions are exaggerated. They're not actual, to be honest.
So
some numbers are exaggerated.
Is that black?
Yes, it's black.
Oh, good. Now,
so you see, if we are to implement this 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling right now as it is with the numbers that we have now, I'm 100% sure that there's some regions that are going to be getting a lot due to the exaggerated numbers that they had got from the previous census. I would first request for a new census to be done in a proper way. Then we can go that route of the 1 man, 1 shilling. Then the question would be, how do we compensate for the people that have fewer people? The regions that have fewer people. That's another question.
Yeah. What do you mean? If they have fewer people,
sorry?
They have people. That's it.
What did you say, Ashley?
We are talking about the number, population. How do we account for them? Because what will happen? What will happen here is this. Sorry? What are you saying, Ashley?
Black, we can hear you.
Donasema. Yes. So what happens to these regions with few people?
What happens?
They say that they're going to be giving out an equalization fund.
Yeah, that equalization.
But I mean, that calculation was so skewed, and that's the reason ambayo ilileta shida hata wale wakati wa Malala ndo wakakuwa kidnapped.
Tunasikianga tu politicians kusema 1 man 1 shilling 1 vote. Hizo pesa ni za nini, by the way?
It means the allocation, the budget, the county allocation, the money would be increased kulingana na population of that county or constituency. Ile CDF pia, vitu kama CDF pia,
Ni pesa za kufanya
CDF and the county. They say that they would have to do more projects.
This is the government.
Kama CDF vile kwa mfano na mabasari, they're saying that they're getting equal money as the rest. When for example, a person in Kiambu would get, let's say, maybe 5,000. I'm just giving a number, 5,000. But a person in Wajir would be getting the same bursary, would get around 20,000 because there are few people.
I think we should break down.
I think umeelewa chenye unaambiwa kweli?
No, but I think we should break that money down to projects. Like we say, this is for education. Because ukiweka hivyo in such a blank check, it can be misused. And then you say, well, these people have fewer people, these people have a lot of people. Why don't we say educational fund?
But that's how they want to put. That's how they want to put it. The county allocation. That's how they want to put it. On the county allocation, they want when the money is being allocated to counties, that the population should be put into account.
What I'm saying is instead of it being given into a blank with a lot of things like 1 man 1 shilling 1 vote, it should be given to how many students are needing assistance from the government, depending, regardless of where they come from. Then it should be in the educational sector, in the Department of Education should handle that. If it is about developing areas that are less developed, that have more animals than people, that should also be a different fund on its own. That's the only way we will not argue or quarrel about this money.
You see, Ashley, the government is not supposed to micromanage the county governments, because these are 2 governments. So that's why the county governments have their own assemblies. That's why we have for instance, let me just use Kiabu. That's why we have the County Assembly of Kiabu to discuss their priorities, basing on, whatever they think is their priority. So I don't think the Constitution would like the national government to micromanage the county governments. So county governments are supposed to make their own free decisions basing on their analysis on what is needed by their people. So I don't think the national government is supposed to do that or to decide for them. So the question I have for you, Black, I was having for you because you might be more informed than me, is that what determines how much money comes from the county to the national government? Then at what point does that money go back, and how much go back to the county government?
There was a formula, I can't recall, that yes. Sakaja came up with it. Mm-hmm. I would have to dig in to give you the exact formula, because Sakaja ndo alikuja na hiyo formula. Sakaja is a very smart man. Just by the way.
You didn't finish.
Yeah. I'll get that formula and then I'll bring it here. That's a promise.
Sakaja hajasoma?
No, that's a very smart fellow. You know, as to whether the degrees are real or not, I don't know, because I was not in school with him.
What do you know?
But judging by his what do you call this? His contribution in Parliament, because he has been in both houses.
Yes.
In both the.
Yeah, we can't hear you now. You are totally. We have lost you totally. We can't hear what you're saying right now. So please get for us that formula, because we'd like our viewers to know how money is shared between the national government, how the money the county government correct goes to the national government, and at what point it goes back to the counties. It is still unambiguous or confusing.
Get that formula. I don't know if you can hear. I don't.
Yeah, we can hear you. Then you get lost. Sometimes we hear you. Sometimes we are not.
I'll get that formula. Sijui kama unaweza kunisikia.
Sasa tunaweza.
I'll get that formula. Then I'll come back on that. And then there's a question.
Yes.
Rather an issue that I was talking about earlier on that power. And I mean the IPPs. Now I'll give you a scenario so that it can be easier for the viewers and you, my fellow panelists. I'll give you an example. Gulf Power something company, that's an independent power producer. It sold around 18 million watts of 18 million units to KPLC at a cost of 121 shilling per unit. Okay. Whereas Kenyan sells their units at 5 shillings 40 cents. You see the difference, the disparity.
Per unit.
An IPP sells you power. An IPP sells you power at 121 shillings and 50 cents per unit, and Kenyan sells you power at 5 shillings and 40 cents per unit. If Kenyan was to supply power to Kenya,
seriously,
how cheap would the electricity be?
Government even accept to buy in the first place?
That's a good question. That's a very good question that we ought to ask ourselves.
So
that's why I say, Kenya, we are able and capable of turning things around if we want to. If our leaders want to, they are able to. They can do that. They can do it.
Because
if you can just tackle that cost of electricity, badala tuuziwe na mtu 121 shillings per unit na tuchukue 100% kutoka Kenya wenye anatuzia only 5 shillings and 40 cents per unit.
So,
can you imagine how great that would do for the economy? Yeah,
I would like you, in order to inform Kenyans more or to help the nation more, if you can do research for us concerning, or we will do research concerning who are the owners of IPP. I believe that is where the big problem is. Who are these owners who are selling
Tutamalizwa.
No, it doesn't. You see, sometimes we have to speak these things. Fear will never help anyone. We need to come here and say, these are the people who are the reason as to why the power in Kenya is this costly. Because Black, I'm forced to believe, or I'm thinking that Kenyan and IPP are operating within the same ground. So
yes, of course.
Same conditions.
Yes,
same
yes.
environment. So it is expected that the cost of production is the same.
Of course.
Then at what point are they selling their power at 100 and something when Kenyan can afford five shillings? So those are the things we need to come here, inform the people, and we read the owners of those that private company. That is the only way we can force things to happen. That is why we have the media. That's why we have the social media. And we say there is power of the social media. Whereby if we keep on talking these things, believe me not, they will change. They will automatically start behaving.
So another thing, if our county governments at this point, because now this is within their reach, if at this point each county government could come up with what do you call this, value addition factories, like what's this guy's name, Arati did, and what the Kwale governor had done, what the Makueni former governor had done, what's his name, Kivuta Kibwana, what Charity Ngilu had done. If each county can come up with as many as those, now ongeze zengine, then farmers would have ready market for their produce.
But
who would want to go to the towns, the big towns, to go try find jobs, wafanye kuanzia 8 to 5 kwa mshahara yenye hai make sense, when you can have your own shamba, ama urudi shambani uende ulime, na unajua ukipeleka mazao yako kwenye factory fulani within your county, you already know how much you're going to be paid. So it's not that you're going to be going again to start looking for market. You already have a market there. If we can have those.
So Black,
if stima pia kama stima itapunguzwa, how many people out there, local and foreign investors, will be willing to come in due by the fact that cost of production would have lowered to a significant level? A lot.
Wow. Yeah, continue. Let me answer.
A lot. So no matter nakwambia, we have the ability to turn things around if the leaders are really genuine in wanting to change the lives of Kenyans. It's not about the cost of living. The cost of living inaonekana juu because watu hakuna job. Believe you me, if we can all find a form of earning income through the means which we've said, production iongezeke, both from the factory and agricultural, alafu we buy our own products, tutakuwa mbele sana, tena sana. Hello. Does my phone hang or what?
Hello, I can hear you.
Okay. You know, sometimes my screen hangs. So that's what I was saying. We are more than capable of doing that. I mean, turn around the economy. Tukitaka, we are able to do that. Question is why we are not doing that? I don't know.
Because
is it that someone somewhere is happy with us being poor, and it's there again in one way or another? I don't know.
It is, and because we are not holding our leaders accountable ourselves, we just clap for them when they do the wrong thing. We haven't looked them in the eye and told them we want you to work for us. I think if we did that, we'd see some action.
Because we are made to believe that the problem that ails us are some political issues which have no bearing to the way we live, instead of actually focusing on the real issues. Sasa tukipigia kelele sijui Chebukati sijui nini, how does Chebukati change our lives?
How is Chelera going to help you?
How is Chelera going to change our lives? Zero. I mean, so, and you'd find someone going to the street to go throw stones. I wish people could just sit down and think hard and ask themselves some few questions. And then after that, waangalie ule governor wao na MCA wao. Because those are the most important people, or rather the most important leaders to anyone. Your MCA and your governor.
But do you know some of our leaders want us to be hopeless? Because a hopeless person is easy to control. And that is why you see Mackenzie was able to control people when he broke them up. When people are in power, you can't just come and tell them nonsense. You have to think before you come and talk to them.
Actually, if you visit some of the places where these leaders come from, leaders you see shouting and talking confidently, you will just shed tears. When you see their regions, when you see their neighborhoods, it's serious. People are in a very serious situation. But
at Orengo, when he went to parliament, his first press conference was about him not having a governor's house. And I've been told that area is so poor, it's not even a joke. But to him, the emergency was that he did not have a house, that they need to construct a house for the governor so that they don't waste money on rent. That was what to him was the most important thing. And that was his first press conference.
Siaya hata sokoni yao ni iko open air. At least Kakamega has done great, but the Siaya County government offices are far much better and exquisite in comparison to Kakamega's county government. See, Oparanya's priorities when it came to spending on Kakamega County was far much efficient as opposed to Siaya, if I may just use those two examples. If the viewers and fellow panelists themselves can take time to get into YouTube and try to check what Siaya County government had done in the previous administration and what Kakamega, because they are not far from each other, and what Kakamega County had achieved in the previous administration under Oparanya, you will see a very great difference. And then you get to look at the county assembly of Siaya, how it's built, just the structure. And then you look at the county assembly of Kakamega, how it's built, just the structure. The spending on the structure of the county assembly of Siaya is state of the art. When you look at the one in Kakamega, it's just a simple ninio. So hiyo ni homework napatia watazamaji na fellow panelists. Just try and check on that. You'll be surprised.
And then when you think about this opposition leader whose work now is always planning what they're going to do for Maandamano, you wonder what time do they have to think of what they'll do for development?
It's because they've been convinced otherwise.
So in their areas, they are not developing because they are being picketed.
Just for the cleanup. Yes, correct, you're right.
And their people don't expect any better. And then they keep talking about high cost of living, yet they are not developing their areas. You know, someone said something very important here. He said, Raila has so many connections. Why can't he use those connections to convince them to come and bring development projects to his areas that he controls? Like there now, he was talking Malindi is his area. Why can't he bring projects to Malindi, to Mombasa? That when you actually look at the places where there is a concentration of his supporters, you say this is people who can actually lead by the kind of work they are doing in their small counties. They are doing a good job. How about you give them the government to run?
A simple question is, if each and every person here could just try and go back to the counties which they come from and try to find out what's the most important long-lasting project that has been done by their county governors, the previous county governors. Like for example, ile example ilitoa mbeleni, Makueni, Kivuta Kibwana, Ali launched 2 food processing factories plus 1 milk processing plant, right? These would offer biasharas to the farmers there. They know where to take their milk. They know where to take their tomatoes. Gilu did the same with mangoes, right? Now, question is, when you look at the other counties, what have they done? At least Arati now has an avocado processing value addition plant, which they'll be pressing some avocados to produce oil. So that's something that is visible and long lasting, that people can say, yes, in Kisii County, kuna e plant in crush avocados into oil. Now, if each and every one of us can try and do the same, and waende kwa zile county zao wajiulize ni nini gavana yenye alipita ama alimaliza ama mwenye yuko yenye ametufanyia yenye long lasting yenye itatusaidia for long.
The one for Muranga, I don't remember what is the for Muranga, what's his name? Kangata.
Currently Matangi ni Kiambu.
Yeah.
Kangata ni wa Muranga.
Yeah, Kangata, right? He's doing a lot. He's doing a lot. He's doing a lot of things, even free meals. He's doing a lot of things. I know.
What has he done?
But
mention them.
I would have to look, but I've been told by the people there that he's doing. They like what he's doing. I think he gave free medical cards to old people. And then he also gave something, he's giving the CDF. He gave almost all the kids that needed CDF.
Now you see, to me, as much as that is helpful, I don't think that is, no. It's almost like a handout.
No, but what
when someone gives you a bursary, it's a handout. It's not made independent. But to see what these examples have given you, like Makueni, and you see those ones, if these farmers can be able to sell, they know where to sell their produce. They're 100% sure if they take them to these factories, they get money. They wouldn't need these handouts in the name of bursaries, right?
Correct. And you know, even in Muranga, what I found is those people, some of those avocado people, when they go to sell, wanadanganywa. So I think it would even help if the county helped them to buy the avocados from them. Because wanadanganywa sana.
Ndio hiyo nilikuwa nasema kama kila county inaweza kutengeneza value addition factories ya kufanya value addition, it would be great for the farmers, right? Because they know where to sell their produce with a ready market, ready price. Na kuna watu watafanya kazi kwenye hizo factories pia, that will be employment. So do you think these farmers will be needing these bursaries as much when they know when they can sell their produce? No. Some people, unaona mtu ako na avocado zake, but avocado zake zinaharibikia kwa shamba, zinakuliwa zingine because they don't know where to take them, right? But if you do have a factory zenye zinanunua hizi avocado zenu, zina crush into oil, like the one that was launched in Kisii, that was in collaboration of the British High Commission, then that is good. So that's what I'm saying. The problem is having a source of earning an income. That's the problem. If we can all find a source of earning income, we can manage the cost of living. But if you don't have a source of income, everything will always be expensive. Hata ikirudiziwa vipi na huna source of income, it's still expensive because you don't have money.
Hata our vijana wa kutumiwa, those ones who go, like the ones who went to Uhuru's garden or ranch, if they were at work, do you think they would have skipped work to go and be employed to do such nonsense? They would not have been available. So sometimes this poverty is by design.
Yeah, very true. I agree.
So like you said, just left say that we need to come up with a proposal. Me, I like the proposal part where we stop talking and we try to see what we can do action-wise.
Yeah, very true, 100%. So it's just a matter of how to get these leaders to do this for us. That's the main issue.
Oh, nani analeta hizi?
Where is this now? Which place is this? Ama pale kwa kina Uhuru venye zile mbuzi zilichukuliwa? Or where is this?
Maybe someone can explain to us.
Is it true? Is this Jakes?
I'm saying he's putting the headlines basing on what we're discussing.
They were taking the goods.
I think this is when they are taking the goats from Uhuru's farm, isn't it?
Do you know there is someone from abroad? They say somebody is in abroad and he had like 30 goats. They were recovered.
Zile mbuzi sasa ukiona venye zilikuwa ziko, hata ukipewa sahihi huwezi ilisha. Hazikuli manyasi ovyo ovyo hizi bwana.
Zimeshiba kwa mwenyewe.
Zimeshiba hata haziwezi kutembea. Hata ni stress kwako. Unairudisha tu.
Hiyo ni ya kukula tu, ukule.
Zinakuranga nyama.
Eti mbuzi nakula nyama. Hiyo ni za Cerelac. Zinakula Cerelac. Hizi zinakula Cerelac. Alafu unaenda kuzilisha hizi nyasi za mtaani zenye walevi usiku wanazikojoleanga. Mbuzi itakuwa mgonjwa. Yes. Which other video is this?
Oh, it's people in the garden. Sasa kwa nini tumeletewa hizi? Tuletea za COVID billionaires. Let a COVID billionaire.
If perhaps you can find that one of Siaya and Kakamega counties, the difference, it would be great also.
So, ndivyo nilikuwa nasema hawa viongozi sijui kama huwa wanatembea kwenye watu wenye wanaongoza wanaishi, kwa sababu ukitembea sehemu zingine Kenya huwa unashindwa, je, hawa watu wako na viongozi? But you realize that sisi Kenya, ukiona mtu ako na gari kubwa inatisha, anaongea maneno makubwa, ako na magari 20 imemfuata nyuma, huyo ndio tunasema huyu ndiye kiongozi wetu, bila hata kutaka kujua hii pesa yote, hii utajiri yote ametoa wapi.
It's just like some people wanataka kusanitize huyu Pastor Ezekiel of the things he has done, but we don't know whether he's one of them who was having people saying over their property and killing them. So we should first investigate where is this money coming from, even though he's done all these good things, before you start praising him.
So
there's no better place to do money laundering than the church.
Yeah.
Because kanisa ikipeleka pesa kwa bank, yeye anasema ni sadaka. Ukipeleka pesa nyingi kwa bank, you have to be asked ulitoa wapi. You have to account for it. So it's easier for watu wa wash kutumia watu wa kanisa kuweka pesa yao. It's very easy.
So kabla tuende hapo kwa kanisa, kwa sababu naona kama mtachange topic. Nasema hivi, Kenya mtu mwenye amestakiwa kwa mambo ya corruption ama amesemekana amekuwa na skando kubwa, huyo mtu huwa anaenda anajificha kwa siasa na anachaguliwa. So kwanza anapewa kiti ile kubwa kabisa kwa sababu watu wanataka kumzuia, maana huyu ni mtu wetu. Amerika, ukiguzwa na mambo ya corruption, automatically watu wanakuacha. Nasema hivyo kwa sababu wale wako huku wanajua. Ukiguzishwa na mambo ya corruption, hata haustahili kuambiwa, hata wakati mwingine wanajiuzuru, kwa sababu wanajua automatically wametoka kwa mioyo ya watu. Lakini kwetu ukitajwa na corruption, hata watu wanakuja nje pale, wakati unaenda kwa koti wanaanza kuiba nyimbo za kukusifu na kujaribu kuonyesha koti isijaribu kufuga huyo ni mtu wetu. Lazima tutoke katika hiyo hali ya kuamini viongozi wetu sana, hata wakati wanakosea bado tunajua na wanajua hakuna kitu tutafanya, na wanajua bado tutawachagua tena na tena na tena. We really need to come out and say corruption is a no-go zone in Kenya. Mtu akishikwa ama akistakiwa na mambo ya corruption, tunamwacha, tunachukua mtu mwingine fresh.
Lakini unajua nini Mburu, what I don't understand, why do we tolerate politicians who are corrupt, yet mtu akiiba hata simu ya mtu anachomwa?
Yeah.
How?
Wale wameibia maisha yetu, wameiba madawa ya watu wanakufa kwa hospitali. Hao ndio huwa tunaibia nyimbo za sifa.
Na mtu akikuibia just a phone, anawekwa taya, anachomwa.
Maskini ukienda kotini, maskini wa kuiba kuku, maskini wa kuiba simu ndio wamejaa huko. Hawa wakifungwa tunaenda huko wanatoa bail ya 1 million. Lakini mashtaka ameshtakiwa mashtaka ya bilioni. So what is 1 million as compared to a billion?
And I don't know how our judicial system is, because like in the US, there's this guy who was found to have, he was told he murdered a girl, which I'm not sure, but he was held without bail. Yani aliwekewa bail hawezi atafikisha kama 10 billion. Kama hao watu wanawekewa 1, kama huyu Pastor Ezekiel, uto tu pesa aliwekewa ni tudogo sana. Angewekewa 10 billion. Atoe jasho. No, for real, because sasa kama mtu mpua akiwekewa 1 million, si kama kukata atolewe. And there are some crimes, kama huyu Mackenzie, he should be unbailable. He should stay there until the case is over. Some cases, they should be no bail.
Hata wanastahili kurudisha mambo ya watu kunyongwa. Huyu anastahili kunyongwa, aondokee wananchi. Na in fact hata hastahili kuwekwa kwa cell na mtu mwingine. He be separated somewhere. Maana huyo akona uwezo wa kufanya watu jela mzima wajinyonge.
Aisi tumalize nini? Black anasema anataka kutoka. Hey, we've been here for long.
Yeah, tunaweza fikisha hapo kwa sasa. Tumeongea sana. Hiyo masaa ni nyingi sana. So sijui nani atamaliza show. Black.
Nawapenda nyote. Yeah, nawapenda nyote. Jex is there. He's here.
Oh,
nawapenda nyote. Yes. Nawapenda nyote, and let's meet again in the later time. See you. Ashley umenifurahisha sana na kitu moja leo nimecheka. I can't go without saying it. Tumesema huwezi kubali mtu aende aparuliwe nje alafu akuje kwako na tena. I never thought you could say such.
We treat women so unfairly. It's not right.
Ashi, sema kitu. Ni time yako.
I think tumemaliza. So now we want action. I want action. We need to write a proposal. Send it.
Lakini wacha nisirudishe debate, tutaendelea wakati huo mwingine, maana naweza sema kitu hapa tena tuanze debate. So thank you so much. Our viewers, God bless you. Let us see each other tomorrow. It is today actually. After some few hours, we shall be back.
Wow, it's 3 o'clock where I am. We've stayed 12 hours. It's almost 12. Okay, Jex is back. What are you
I've been here all along.
And you didn't talk?
Mimi ni wale wenye upenda kufanya vitu kimchezo kinyume ya maji, because I had to rest kiasi. But thank you people for keeping tabs. Thank you for watching Mutembei TV. This show has been made possible because of you guys. Asanteni sana, asanteni tu sana. I'm grateful to be your moderator for the last how many hours? Hey, almost 12 hours, and these guys have made it even easier because wamefanya ile mambo. We had Mboro taking charge, we had Ashley, we had Blake, we had Mzalendo, and I tell you, these guys, they couldn't have done a better job than they once have done. They have done. Mboro is a good guy who, he said today he came prepared, and for real, he was prepared. Mwambia zile vitu amefanya wacha tu. Thank you so much, my brother. I see you, and keep doing the good job. I also thank you, Ashley. Hey, manzelo ukuja pia prepared. The statements umepeana mzito. My friend, I'm grateful. Zaidi yote, on behalf of Mutembei, the CEO, and me, myself, the moderator, and many of the guys who make this possible. We wish to thank you, our viewers. Thank you, our panelists. Let me now end let me end the show this way. Thank you so very, very much forgive us for not maybe playing many videos today, but the panelists had many words to say. But you can always follow our videos. We will be having so many links and so many videos coming up, like the burial for the wife of General Kimathi. We'll cover it live here at Mutembei, and I can assure you it will be drama you don't want to miss.